this like that. I'm not really present these days. It's like a lot of things going on, and also time is flying. So when I want to do a live, it's night time because I finished to do things I wanted to do. So I'm not really present, and I take care of myself. I just sun bath now for half an hour. I try to get, when there is sun, half an hour of sun at home, because I have the chance to have the sun coming in my kitchen, so I can lie down right there and naked enjoy the sun. So I'm a little bit red. I just did that. I also wanted to show you, my hairdressers. I always cut my hair all my life, but some years ago I had this kind hairdresser, Jay, who contacted me, and I said, okay, I have nothing to lose, my hair growing. And he cut my hair, and it was fantastic. And I miss his haircut because now he's on the East Coast and I don't travel. So, but yesterday I've been inspired. I say, okay, I always cut my hair. I put some layers. I show this in a video how I do that. I put them in front, I cut into, I separate into, and I do like that, and more or less like that. But yesterday I went online, things that I always tell you to do, go on YouTube and investigate. So I did that. I said, okay, I'm going to see how people are cutting their hair to have layers. So I cutting my hair with layers. And I found this, I took the most simple one. I don't want to spend time, and I had no time to spend yesterday on that. But I wanted to do it. I felt, wow, I have to do it now. So I took the simplest one I saw, and maybe you did it, and I can encourage you to do it because it's fantastic. I'm very happy with the result. So the thing is, you pull all your hair in the front when maybe they were wet after my shampoo. You brush them very well, you comb them very well, and you hold here just on your forehead with a rubber, an elastic, and you let it like that, so you have a big stripe of hair like that in front of you, and you cut straight the bottom how long you want. I cut it like 1 inch, you see, and it gives that. I had nothing else to do. I have not done any layers or anything, because the way your hair are flowing like that, automatically this gonna be shorter than the one in the back. So I'm very happy with that. And yesterday, now I slept on and all, but yesterday after the shampoo, after I cut them, they were really amazing. It was like, very nice layers here. So this is what I did. So I wanted to share this with you. And also yesterday, before yesterday, what day are we? Saturday? Thursday has been a very important day for me. Most of you know about my bracelets, the bracelet Primordial. You know that I'm working on this project since more than 10 years. So I want to share this with you in a way to show you that when you have a dream, when you have a vision, it may take a certain time, and you never know. And me, it was fascinating. It's more than 10 years, because when I saw this piece of horn. Oh, I have to show you. Let me go and found it, because I prepared some bracelet, but I have not prepared this one. I will show you this. So let me sit with my brown meditation cocoon. I love these meditation cocoons. They are really nice. So this is the thing. This is the original. This is in horn. The horn of wild goat in Corsica. So this is that. And some of you may know the story, like 12, 15 years ago. Yeah, 12, 15. Full time is flying. I was in Corsica to search for a man that I know who is doing adobe building, and I knew also he was making knives, and he's an alchemist because he's also making knives, the blades, from the rocks that he is digging and that he's melting to make the iron. So he's really someone amazing, Christian Moretti, very knowledgeable. And he works with a Japanese master to do the blade, Japanese blades. So I wanted to meet him about adobe building because I knew he built a house in Corsica in mud, and I wanted to see if it was possible for me to build like that. So I knew it was this fair about knives, handmade knives in Corsica that are really, really nice. I should also prepare some to show you. And I thought I will see him there, but he was not there. But everybody knew him. And I was, visiting the stand with all the knives, and it was really, really nice. And suddenly I arrived at this table, a small table, and I saw all these beautiful knives handmade on piece of horn that were flat. So this was flat. It was like a flat slab of horn. And now, you see, this is my bracelet, my favorite one. So when I saw the piece of horn under the knives, my heart was like, ah! I immediately saw a bracelet. And I immediately saw a bracelet in silver. And I asked a young guy that was making the knives, I say, what is this? Can I buy this? And he said, what? Our display? I say, yeah. He said, why? I said, because I see a bracelet. And he took the piece under the knives, and he held it like that toward me. And he said to me, this is for you. I say, oh, how much I owe you? He said, nothing. But do you know how you going to make your bracelet? I said, no. He said, I'm going to tell you. So not only he gave me the piece as a gift, but it was several pieces, but only this one really, really attracted me by the texture and the shape. It was flat, imagine flat, a flat slab. But immediately I saw it, and the back is like that. So it was a flat slab. So he said, you're gonna do this very simple. You make some olive oil warming, and you put this flat slab in the olive oil warm, and after it's going to be flexible and you give the shape you want. So I came back in Malibu and I was excited to do it, and I did it. So I found a container, like a bottle, was more or less the size of my wrist, and I did that. And this was my first bracelet. So I made it like, I think more than 12 years ago. It was at the beginning I was in Malibu. And I always had the vision of this bracelet in silver. And it took 10 years to get it realized in silver. I had them realized in 2019, the first prototypes. And it has been on different steps. And Thursday was the first production that I got. It's an Artisan in LA. It's made in LA. It's not made in foreign countries where you can have cheap labor, not at all. This is made here, downtown LA, by an artisan that is working really, really well. And I'm so happy, I'm so excited about that, because from the silver one, I also declined in different metals. So I have it in copper, I have it in bronze, in brass. I have silver that is shiny, silver that is, there is an helicopter, silver that is aged, and I have silver with gold plate, and I'm gonna have a new one, because now, you know, it's like the shells, I cannot stop to imagine other design, and now I'm gonna have a new one that's gonna be silver. So it's sterling silver, it's massive, it's like 200-220 grams of silver. and it's gonna be gold plate, and the edge gonna be showing the silver. So I'm gonna show you the silver. This is the silver shiny. So all these are signed and with, you know, the trademark, and also with the 925 silver, sterling silver. This is a silver that is like worked to get a kind of age effect, and it doesn't change, it stays like that. I had the prototype made like in 2019. I could also take it to show you, but it's the same. It did not become darker. So this is a shiny, this is the age, I can say, you know, like the, how I can say, yeah, like age silver, like that. So they are like that. All are numbered with the brand and the trademark. And this is the silver, but this is old. It's from 2019, so I worn it a lot and I put it in salt water, so the gold is less shiny than before. But this is the silver gold plated. So now I'm gonna have silver gold plated with all the edge that's gonna show the silver, all the edge. I think it's gonna be really, really nice. So this is that. I still not have calculated the prices. I got the invoice on Thursday and I had no time. I'm too busy. And now I'm gonna show you in copper. So in copper, it's like that when it's done. And after, when it's aging, it corrodes, so it's beautiful as well. But you can have it back like that when you use a product to clean the copper. But after, it's becoming like that. I prefer it when it's old like that, because it can even have some like shades of blue somewhere. I love it like that. So this is the copper one. So you see, this is the new one. This is the old one that I wear since 2019 as well. And now I'm going to show you the brass. So I have brass and bronze. As the difference between brass and bronze, you will see. The brass is a little bit more yellow. This is the brass, this is the bronze. So you see the difference. There is more copper in the bronze than in the brass. The brass is yellow and like that. But after, you're going to see how they age. So this is the brass. It's beautiful both ways. And when it's aging, it's like that. It has this beautiful patina. So these are them. And you can get it back like that when you clean it. And the bronze become like that. You see? It's become with patina. But it's really, really, really nice. No, I'm telling you something wrong. The bronze, because this is not really changing, the bronze become like that. I was like, oh, it's not age. The bronze become like that. So it's like, it's almost like copper, but it's not. Copper is more red. You see in the bronze here, there is more yellow. And copper, when it's aged, it's more red with some blue. And the bronze is different. So it's subtle, but so this is the bronze new and the bronze age. And this is the brass new and the brass age. And the brass and the bronze age are like that. Bronze, more red, brass, more yellow. Voila, I wanted to share this with you. And now I'm excited because I have the project to do cufflinks with this texture and this pattern. So I think the first one will be in silver. I would love also to have this done in gold, but this is a big budget. But and also I'm gonna do a buckle belt and some beads for my necklaces. So I'm gonna do quite big beads. They're going to be totally closed, so it's going to be the pattern of the bracelet, but it will be totally closed. It's made by 3D computerized, and after it's going to be one hole to be able to work on that in my necklaces that I will, you know, mix with leather or with seeds or with other stones. So I'm excited about that. Voila, I wanted to share this with you, and also about the feeling of these days that is quite heavy. I have a lot of people, like usual, sending me messages from all around the world, and a lot of people are very much concerned about what is going on. And unfortunately, it was like logical to me. Some months ago I spoke about that. I said it's going to be narrower and narrower and more difficult, and it's what unfortunately it's what is going on. So I think what is important to be at peace, even if it's hard, it's to hold on what is right for you. I see people around me, couples that are separating because they go in different directions, because they don't agree on things anymore, and it's become more and more difficult, and it's become, especially with the situation, and people are going their way, and because it's the only way to be at peace is to stay with what is right for us, because if we compromise, we will never be at peace. So it's like a kind of paradox, you know. The situation is difficult. We have choices to make. Regarding the choices we make, if we compromise what is right for us, we are not at peace. And people are scared to be aligned with their integrity and their choices, because they are like fearing to lose their peace. They have like the feeling they're going to be more anxious. But most of the people who make the choice that was right for them realize that they are in fact very, very at peace inside, because it resonates with the soul and with what the soul experience, the experience the soul has to live. It's for that everybody is different, and we came all with a different purpose. So we really have to follow what sounds right for us, despite the adversity, despite even what close people around us choose or say. Now, I think now, almost 2 years after it started, people start to understand that it's not a question of right or left of political party. Last year, at the beginning of that, when I said, take care, what is going on, this was in March last year. What is going on before our election in the US, you know? What is going on is about freedom. Take care, because it's not about electing that or that. It's about how we have to take care, because we're going to lose our freedoms. And now, 2 years after almost, I think people are realizing that it's not about a political side. Not at all. Even if I have been tagged last year of being extreme right and being Trumpist and being that, this is total nonsense. I have this ability since ever, in fact, to be a little bit visionary, to see, like, to feel like in a logical way what going to be the consequences. And I think I had that because I am sure there are, you know, predisposition. I have 5 planets in water, so this helps to get information from the invisible world and to be intuitive. But beyond that, I also live in silence. I posted this today in my stories, something about the hertz that has been changed in the music. In 1955, the year I born, And this, when you see the picture of what happened with certain frequency and another one, if you look at the pictures, you just meditate. It's in my story today. Just meditate on that, on these two pictures of these two frequencies, and you will feel inside. One is like stuck in me when I look at it. The other one makes me like exploding of joy. So this is what is going on. People, it's very difficult for people who are non-stop with radio, TV, all these sounds with frequency that has been changed in 1955, so many decades ago. It's very difficult for them to feel what is going on, to feel in a common sense way, because they are cut by this frequency like numb. It's like being numb. So me, I live in silence. I don't have TV since more than 40 years, and I live in silence mostly. I listen some musics, but I'm mostly in silence with the sounds of the waves or the birds. So I'm not polluted by this different lower frequency. So I can be more and more in tune, I could say, with nature law. I feel it, I feel in my body, I see, I have a sound, I feel how it affects me, I see an image, I see how it affects me. Because even image has frequency, you know, it's the power of photography. It is like the consciousness of the photographer is in the picture. So when people are watching a photograph, they also can go in resonance with the consciousness of the one who took the picture. And this is also a question of frequency. So it's all about this, and also evidently what you read. The text you read going to connect you with the consciousness of the writer. And this can or elevate your frequency or bring down your frequency. It's also the same thing with movies. But it's also, this doesn't mean that you have to live under a globe. You can also watch different kind of movies. Now I cannot watch horror movies anymore since many years because it's low my frequency. But when I watch some series, like for example, I was watching the series some years ago about Handmaid's Tales, Handmaid's Tale. I could observe and feel, and when all this started last year, immediately I connected. I say, oh, what we are living, it's a mix of Game of Thrones and Handmaid's Tale. It's exactly that mix of these two series, the story we are living in, the story we are in. So now you can observe, you can watch these things, but what is important, like for a lot of situation, it's to observe, to be an observator, because like this you are less affected emotionally and you are less drawn to go in a lower frequency if the frequency of what you see is low. You can mutate that, you can transmutate that. You can see the awfulness that is shown to you, but you can immediately, with your mind, with your heart, elevate that. And this is not without power. Is what I said often. People who deny the situation, who say, I don't want to see, it's too horrible, like the child trafficking thing. They say this don't exist because it's too hard for them to face this. But the fact to deny this gave more power to the low frequency. But the fact to know, to acknowledge that this exists, and to inside decide that we don't want this anymore. If we do, each of us are doing this, we create another egregor and we elevate the frequency. So it can seem crazy, but it is very powerful, very, very powerful. It's for that, it's very important to be present when you read a book, when you watch a movie, when you listen to music, when you are in a situation, when you are in nature, because you are crossed non-stop by informations. And our DNA is changing all the time. When we have an insight, when you have, ah, yes, it's that, I was sure about that, now I know, there is no doubt it's that, your DNA is changing. When you read a book that elevates your frequency, you start to connect the dots, your DNA is changing. Our DNA is changing all the time. We are mutant. And especially now with what is going on, and with what is going on, you know, it seems logical to me. More you are connected to nature law and you put in your body natural product, more you are vibrating with nature, and more you are in tune with nature, outside of you, inside of you. More you put synthetic in your home, in your body, chemicals, things that are not natural as we are, organic as nature, more it will be difficult for the body to deal with that. And I think for me, it's like evident that it's a very difficult time, because we have been like, if we can say, sprayed in the atmosphere by chemical metallic particles. So the bodies, regarding our condition, are fighting that to keep balance, to be in harmony with nature. So it's like the body is rejecting everything that is not, and if it cannot, it lets the soul, if the soul cannot, you know, deal with that anymore because it's too difficult in the physical dimension, the only way is to let the physical body to ascend. Because we ascend all the time, as I said before, our DNA is changing all the time, and this raises our frequency, and we ascend to the final ascent, the final ascension when we're going to die. So it's an amazing process of development, and it's always a spiritual development, and we live this in our bodies, we live this in our flesh. And it's a total connection with the invisible part of us and the physical one. So when we are aggressed, when we are invaded by things, particles that are not compatible with our organic matter, it's very difficult for the body to deal with that. But I have the feeling also that some people gonna develop extra senses by that. Maybe it's a condition as well that we create at the unconscious collective to really elevate consciousness of humanity and to go to the new species of humans. So everything is in perfect order. It's just a question of how can we see the positive outcome of it. And we are all participating in that. We are all part of it. And we all decided to come in this time to live what is going on right now. So we are not victim of that. So how can we find a way, by who we are, with our differences, to find a way to go through this? We cannot escape it. We have to go through. So we have to be ingenious. We have to use our mind, but not like that intellectually. We have to use our mind connected with our heart, with our intuition. Because if we came right now in this time, it's because, as unique as we are, we're going to bring something different to be able, that's going to be useful to the collective. So it seems it's even complicated to put words on that, you know, and but we have the tools. Look, I went online, I found this way to cut my hair. I'm so happy. It took me like 2 minutes. And I'm happy. It's not like my friend who does this amazing haircut that I feel after. But you see, and this is the power of the collective. How can we inspire each of us? How can we share what is dear to us, what can seem crazy to others, without being labeled or tagged? When we say take care, when I said last year, take care, I have the feeling, I know it inside. The game here is that we're going to lose our freedom. It's not crazy. Why are people going to label me that or that? No. It was right, my feeling was right, and it was like almost 2 years ago, but I knew it because I had a message. I was alert by my higher self, who sent me a message beginning of January 2020. So, and I trust that. I always trusted these messages I received. And, like this message of that, it was a message. When I saw it, my heart resonated with that. It was like, and it took almost 15 years to become this, to become alive, and they are here. And it was that first impulse, this impulse that you have, this thing that comes from your heart, this desire is what creates life. Look, it's wonderful. So the challenge is to be free of the conditionment of the culture, of the society, of the religion, who make us to be afraid. We have a natural immune system that is working wonderfully if we take care of our body. The terrain is everything. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Everything is here. And the plants and the minerals, all this can be really, really, really help us, really helping us to go through that when we are connected to this, because all these are resonances with our matter. We are made of that. We are made of this. When we are created with two simple cells, if I can say simples, it's magical. We live in 9 months in utero, from the beginning of life on earth, all the steps, we live them in 9 months. So we are connected to these origins. And this is nature law. We have to trust that process. I did that all my life. So for me, it's like, because I've been always fascinated. And it's that. Go with that flow. And now we arrive at a total nonsense, and I think it's to stimulate really our common sense and to make us being more curious about how we function, who we are really, the wonder that we are. It's that, because a lot of people since this crisis are really digging, searching for medical real sources and to feel and to connect in themselves. If you have, quite of some years, decades of life experience, you can relate to experience that you had in your body, what we call disease, and how you went through, and how this make you evolve, how this change your DNA, So I wanted to share this with you, and it's, I have the feeling I'm always repeating the same thing, but it's always the same thing. And I feel also, as I spoke about that many times, I feel also limited in the words to express really properly what I feel about this magical phenomenon of life that is animating us all. And but it's there. I'm sure you feel the frequency. Try to be enthusiastic. Try to go with what your art is like exploding for. Like make you happy. Beauty makes you happy, and you want to. I'm passionate. I cannot stop to create new designs. I cannot stop to do more and more, and I invest in that. And we live time of uncertainty, and I'm not scared to invest more and more money in this. It can seem crazy, but It's like they are my babies, you know, like after menopause, you create in a different way. And it's fantastic. It's, for me, it's like, wow. It took all these years to have all my little creation with me. It's wonderful. And you know, the symbol of the horn, and symbolism, the horn, it's a connection with the divine. It's connected to, it's like the light that is becoming incarnated. So it's a very powerful symbol of connection to the divine. So this is, look how it's beautiful. It looks like leather in the light. And in the light, voila, the silver one that became like that, and the age one. More than 10 years to realize them. So you see, everything comes in the right time. And it's time of big choices, of really choices that we make to feel for each of us differently, more secure, you know, to protect ourselves, to be able to continue our lives with what we like to do, with what we enjoy to do, or to find other sorts of enjoyment. Me, I was someone enjoying very much traveling. It was my life traveling, and since 2 years I've not traveled at all because I have priorities, and I have also no compromise possible to do. This is, I cannot compromise. I cannot do things that can compromise my dignity, my self-esteem. So I made choices. Okay, I let you now. I have a small video with someone in Australia that's gonna come at 3 p.m. here, so I let you. I do this private video for my customers around the world for them to help them to select the product they want. So I'm grateful for that. And I wanted to tell you, I'm gonna post about that this week. I've been contacted and I've been introduced nicely by one of my customer, to people here in Malibu, and I'm gonna do a sale in Malibu on December 12th. That will be also very interesting because it's my birthday month. So I'm born on 21/12 or 12/21. So it will be 12/12. And voila. So I thank you very much for following and listening, and I thank you very much for the badges. It's really kind of you. Still, you know, money for the orphanage I'm raising, and grace of you and grace of all my regular and my new customers, we can really help substantially the orphanage this year, really, really well. So thank you very much. At very soon. Bye-bye.